Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercrest, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around is Wacky Racers for the Nintendo Entertainment System, based on the 1960s cartoon by Hanna-Barbera of the same name. Rather interesting little side-scroller we got here. You can switch between all of 3 worlds. Might as well go with A. Begin this, and much like the cartoon, the game centers around Dick Dastardly and his dog Muttley. You play as Muttley. And in the first world, Hip Hop, Dastardly's plane crashes while chasing a homing pigeon, which is rather interesting because that wasn't really in the show at all. It was actually in the spin-off show called Catch That Pigeon, which starred Dick Dastardly and Muttley. I want to think that's the name of that series, not quite sure. Anyway, Muttley has to rescue Dastardly as always, and that's where the game basically begins. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game now because of the 4 icons at the bottom of the screen. You have a bomb, you have a picture of a dog barking, you have a picture of a feather, and you have a picture of a heart. As I pick up bones, I will be able to go beyond finding people and jumping. Actually sort them through all of them from left and right by picking up bones. The bomb lets me have a ranged attack, but I'd much rather have the Bart because it goes clear to the other side of the screen. Or until you go right far enough, whichever happens first. The feather lets you float by rapidly pressing A while in midair. This is rather interesting as it lets you collect a lot more stuff than you usually would. But you catch stuff that you wouldn't be able to get just with your jump. Gems work like coins, get 100 to get a free life. And that small picture of Muttley was a 1-up. Now the heart, you select that with the select button, much like you do everything else, and you'll be able to refill your health and gain another heart. You can have up to 6 hearts. Pretty easy enemies here. We got bunnies, flowers, bees, plants. Go ahead and get this 1-up too because we pretty much can, and we're going to need all the 1-ups that we can get. There we go. Go ahead and get another heart. And we got some more enemies to deal with here, such as knights, chess pieces that look like the knight, and as we'll see later on, some mummies. The knights don't really come at you until you're like directly across from them, and I mean directly across from them. Not just directly across and lower, I mean directly across. And why can't I grab this gem? There we go. Jump into the openings to continue on. Got some mummies here. Go ahead and get that last heart because we're going to need all the hearts we can get. Now we actually want to stay to the top here for this. I want that, thank you so much. Well, at least I didn't die that time. Can you stop with stop with the hitting me, thank you. I want that bone. Well, I'm definitely gonna need it now. Yeah, I'm just gonna take care of it from that point. And go ahead and walk to this wall before you go through that opening at the bottom. For 2 bones, 3 gems, and an extra life. Go ahead and get these 2 gems, and then continue on with the level as usual. Without going through that column. Not really much to these stages, I have to admit. Not at first. Enemies are pretty easy, and well, the game is being really generous with the 1-ups right now, so that's why I'm grabbing all the ones that I can. I also believe that this is the last section. And if it is, well, good for me. Yep, it is. And here's the number 5 car. I forget who the rest of the characters are, but they're basically other characters from the series. Basically, this guy just takes a step forward, jumps way up, throws the ball at you, then wants to jump from one side of the screen to the other. Now with this second form, he'll just jump all the way to this other side of the screen that he's going to, just before he gets there, and then throw a ball at wherever it is you are. Go ahead and refill my health there. Invincibility in this game is kind of wacky a little bit because, well, you don't have that much invincibility time. I think you only have like 5 seconds of invincibility or less before you can take a hit again. You can get cut to ribbons pretty quickly. And I just got my first one up solely through the gems. As mentioned earlier, collect 100 to get an extra life. And they're pretty much like the coins in Super Mario Brothers. Quicksand is rather interesting here as well. You can actually go under it and just swim under the bad guys. And it will actually come in play a little later into World A2. There are 10 individual stages sprawled across 3 worlds. And I want to get that one up. Scorpions aren't hit too hard as long as you're not above them when they jump. And now it's time for the second section where we try to avoid pits and fires. Apparently we've come across an oil well. I'm guessing this is part of Saudi Arabia, but one can barely even tell. Then again, this takes place from Africa to Asia, so I'm assuming the first part may be Russian, this may be part of the Middle East. So it's kind of hard to say exactly where we are. As long as you don't fall down pits, we should be just fine. Actually, now that I think about it, now that we see these pyramids, we're in Egypt. I might as well go ahead and just call this Egypt, much like I have a couple other videos after that Egyptian lover song of the same name. Now that I mention it. And I hate those King Tut masks where they just, whoa, shoot fireballs at you. And yeah, you want to watch out for those weights, because if they crush you, well, you won't die, but you will take a hit and you'll have to wait a few seconds to be uncrushed, so to speak. And I definitely don't want to touch those heads. And if you touch those spikes, you don't die, but you do take a hit. And you also get knocked into the air a little bit. If you fall back into spikes, you take another hit. The game is rather merciless with the spikes, amazingly. Go ahead and just get that right there, because I can. And refill the health. Go to the left here and get another step closer to getting a health regeneration power up again. I might as well go ahead and take that, why not? Now, get past the second weight. Yeah, you want to just time it right there so that you can trigger the second weight without it actually falling on you. And then you can actually go to the door and get all that stuff to the right. Alright, last part of A2. And I might as well go ahead and grab this bone, and thankfully there's a bone in every boss level, so in case you die, you can actually fight with the bombs. I'd much rather go against number 6 with this. Yeah, the army tank guy. Forgot his name. I'm pretty sure I'll mention who they all are when I go through my notes for this game again in part 2. But yeah, he just shoots bullets that just move in interesting patterns, such as the square and the bouncing and the straight ahead. Might as well refill my health. Now you want to use the quicksand to your advantage so you can take care of them a little easier than I did. At least I knew what I was doing. It especially works better if you use the bombs because, well, you can just get directly under him and just cream them in seconds. And now we're through the southern parts of Africa, which involve ostriches, rock-throwing giraffes, snakes. And, well, what other animals are over there in southern Africa? I almost said Southern Asia over there. And we noticed that the blocks here, some of them are basically shaped like animals. Like that one I think looks like an elephant. I think there's another one later in the stage that looks like a giraffe. The snakes and the baboons are the worst because they just jump around a couple times before changing direction. And well, depending on what they are, sometimes they can be very annoying. You also want to be very careful with these porcupines because they are indestructible and they cover a very narrow area. So the bite, the bark, and the bomb won't work on those guys, no matter how hard you try. Some more giraffe-shaped block structures here, and well, we're pretty much on our way to the next section. Oh, after a little bit. Might as well go ahead and skip that bone and just hit on right to section 2. And I find it amazing he's just standing in place and moving at the same time. I swear, something ain't right over there. And we also have owls that just move towards you in sine wave-like patterns. Well, he's not going anywhere. Not that I'm aware of. And at least he's staying away from me. Those are the baboons, they're the worst. And I thought I'd be able to get it from there, but apparently not. Live and let live. He's far away from us to not be a threat. And yeah, just stay away from the owls a little bit. Go ahead and... yeah, you also want to stay away from the spikes too. Those little spike things, because they're indestructible as well, and well, they can knock it back. At least it's not as bad as other games like Castlevania or some of the Mega Man games. Some of them knocked you. Some of the early ones knocked you back farther than others, let me tell you. Yeah, just get away from that snake. Get over here. We're in yet another pyramid, which is kind of weird because we're in southern Africa. Unless there's some group of people from southern Africa that had pyramids. I doubt it. And dodge some more spikes moving up and down, and then we'll take on the number 4 car. No, wait, that's the number 10 car. The woodcutter and his beaver. Yeah, just wait for him to go up and then... oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, just get out of the hole then as soon as he rises up and throw that ball at you. Yeah, and he's just standing there quite a bit. He's mostly going to stay in the same position for a little while. As long as I avoid those... ow, I should have known he was going to do that. Thankfully I hit him enough times to really do some damage and, well, get him before he gets me. And that's World A finished. And Muttley's catching the pigeon only to get yelled at. In typical Wacky Races fashion. Poor Muttley. Sorry if I went through that too fast. You can pause it if you need to. And that's World 1 finished. Or World A. Join me next time where I take on World B. Till next time, this is Prince Watercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching.